With all the new stuff, the new fragrances, the new scents, the new smells that are out there, sometimes it's good to go back and just revisit and see where you came from, right? See where the journey has brought you from and where you're at now. And so I wanted to, in this video, I wanted to talk about the fragrances that kind of started me on this leg of my journey as far as being a fragrance enthusiast, fragrance frag head, whatever you want to call it. I wanted to revisit the clone fragrances that really kind of got me started in this space. Stick around. All right, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin, and you're watching Smell Goods. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you hanging out with me for a little bit as we discuss more of the fragrances and document my fragrance journey, but hopefully help you in your fragrance journey as well. If this is your first time, appreciate you stopping through. Appreciate you hanging out. Hope you're having an amazing time. Hope you come back. Way you do that is make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like, request notifications, and then that way, every time I drop a video, every time I go live, you're here for it. All right. If you've been here before, appreciate you stopping back through. Appreciate you coming back to be part of the Smell Good Squad. But if you haven't hit that subscribe button, what are you doing? Because I was looking at my analytics, and this is about 60% of y'all that watch that haven't subscribed. What are you doing? Just hit the subscribe. It's not going to cost you anything. Also, it's helping me to hit my goal first of 7,500 as far as 7,500 subscribers, and then eventually get to that 10K mark. So appreciate just taking a moment, hitting that subscribe button. Not going to cost you anything, and you'll be here. You'll be locked in. All right. As mentioned, I wanted to I was thinking about, okay, I've been doing this now as far as content, not content creation, but as far as fragrance enthusiast, fragrance collecting, all of that fun stuff for about maybe 2 years now, being in earnest about it. But I wanted to kind of go back and revisit some of the very first clone fragrances that I got, revisit them, see if they still hold up, see if I still feel kind of the same way I felt maybe when I first got them, and kind of let you know what my thoughts are. So I've really got 6 of them. So I've got 6 of them. I know we normally like to do 5 or 10. I've got 6. So you're getting a bonus one. All right. Well, let's kind of dig into the first 3 that started it off. This would be the trinity, as it were, of the fragrances that kind of got me going, got me started. First one up is from Lattafa, and this is Lattafa Assad. Now, this is their take on Sauvage Elixir. Now, I admit, when I first got it, I was like, oh, yeah, it's 1-to-1. Not 1-to-1. In the space, definitely does a decent job of it. I still probably will end up getting Sauvage Elixir at some point. It's not necessarily a major rush out for me because everybody got it. But also, this does a job of scratching the itch when I'm ready to wear something of that nature. Definitely still in the collection, as you can see. Definitely still something that'll probably stick around for a bit. Don't pull it out, of course, as often as I used to, but it is something that I definitely will wear from time to time. Again, we're talking Lattafa Assad, and still feel pretty good about it as a fragrance in my collection. The next one was one that kind of was like, okay, admittedly, I had seen a lot of the hype on, I think it was TikTok that I was watching at the time. I had seen a lot of the hype. I had seen it. I was like, okay, let's check it out. Let's see. We're talking about from Afnan. This is 9 p.m. and this is the original. This is the 9 p.m. Black Label doing its take on Ultramale. And you can see whatever this is, the collar keeps coming off. So I've had it for a while and it's done. You can see there's a dent in it between me and, yes, my son, or at least when he was living here and wearing it. But yeah, this is, again, a take on Ultramale. And in fact, this has stuck around and survived and lasted beyond other Ultramale clones that I've had. For me, the DNA, the fragrance is something that I don't wear an awful lot. It is something that for me right now is more of a throw on, just to reminisce, a throw on to kind of go out, what have you. For me, the fragrance, the DNA leans a little young for me. It doesn't really fit my flow, doesn't fit my vibe. But it's still a great fragrance and something that will probably just stick around, partly from nostalgic sake, but also there's still some lists and things of that nature that we can still throw it into. So it is definitely something that will stick around for a little bit, but we're talking Afnan 9 p.m. And just as much as I was impressed with it when I first got it, I'm still good with it. I'm still feeling it, still liking it. All right. And then the third one that makes up our initial trinity, as it were, our initial triangle of fragrances, however you want to put it, is one that also was much, much hyped during that time when I was kind of jumping into this space. Again, it is the original Camera from Lattafa. This is a twist more so on Angel Share. It's in the vein. I don't consider this a clone, but it is a twist on Angel Share. And this still slaps. This still, it's very sweet, what have you. Now, if I'm honest, the Camera Dukan, which is the most recent one that came out as of this filming, is one that I wear a little more just because it feels a little more masculine. It feels a little more my speed, but this still does what it needs to do. In fact, my wife still likes this on me. She still is like, yeah, she calls it Cinnamon Toast Crunch is what it reminds her of. So this still is definitely one that works, and I still feel good about it. I still feel like, okay, I made a right choice many moons ago for this, but again, Lattafa Camera was one of the original ones and still works. All right. Next one up, let's go to, because of the success of Assad, the success of Camera, I was on a Lattafa just binge, as it were. So Lattafa probably was, as you know, been around the channel, it makes up a good portion of especially my clone section of my collection. And so the next one that was on my list and on my radar that I picked up was the Bade Al Oud for Glory. This being its take on Initio's Oud for Greatness. I still rock this. I still like this. I still will wear this. Still will pull this out every now and then. It still does what it does and does it well, right? Are there, am I planning on at some point probably jumping up and getting Oud for Greatness? Possibly. But in the meantime, I'm still feeling good about this. This was one of the ones that, again, kind of extended me further into the space of fragrance collecting and fragrance enthusiasm, and I still stand by it. Again, we're talking Oud for Glory from Lattafa, the Bade Al Oud for Glory. All right. Then the next one, this was one that I picked up, just because it was like I was starting to really pay a little more attention in the rack stores. I was paying a little more attention in TJ Maxx and Burlington and what have you. And so I think at the time my wife was doing part-time at TJ Maxx, I think is when I got this, picked it up and was like, okay, yeah, it smells good. It smells great. It's $14.99. Great. You will see those prices still if you go into TJ Maxx and some of those places. But as far as all these other clones, you're not going to see them at the prices that we saw them at 2 years ago. You're not going to see that anymore. But a line that I don't know that we talk about a lot in Fracom, partly because I think that they just kind of are there. They're very accessible in your rack stores. But the thing about this also is the longevity. This one is English Laundry, and this is Cambridge Night. And this, if I remember correctly, this is their take on Invictus. Decent as far as its take, decent as far as its smell, its closeness, as it were, right? But the longevity is where this kind of falters for me, right? This is something that every now and then when I go into my local TJ Maxx and I'm finding some hidden gems that are there that are just kind of you have to dig for sometimes. I do see more of the English Laundry. I'm not necessarily jumping into getting more of the English Laundry. This one, in fact, I was kind of surprised it was still in my collection just because I was going through and I was like, oh, that's there. So as far as how I feel about this now, it served its purpose. Its purpose is over. Its purpose has ended. But if you're just starting your fragrance journey and you're starting to look at some things and you're looking for things that are accessible that you can put your nose on, English Laundry has a nice list or a nice lineup of things that are going to get you in the space. I just don't know about longevity. The longevity of this one was not really great. And so for me, that was an indicator for the rest of the line, although I've not really investigated it. But again, Cambridge Night from English Laundry is one that was one of my original ones as far as clones that I kind of expanded my space with. All right. And then the last one, definitely had to have this one. This was one that was one of the first Club de Nuits that I got. And so this one is Club de Nuit Milestone. And this is their take on Millesime Imperial. This, when I first got this, this was my one of my summer bangers. This was one of the summer ones that I just wore all the time. Still works, still rocks. I don't reach for it as much just because with the, especially, kind of I've grown as far as the things that I have for my spring and summer fragrances. But it still is going to stay in the collection. It's still going to be there. It's still something that I may pull out occasionally. Pause. But it's something I may go ahead and grab occasionally just to, again, refresh, remind, and what have you. But we're talking about from Club de Nuit Milestone. All right, let you see. There we go. How are we going to see it? All right, so that's it. So those are the six clone fragrances that kind of got me started in the fragrance space as far as really growing as an enthusiast, as a collector. I'm interested to see what are the first clones that you had from your collection that kind of maybe sparked some things, maybe got you going, got you started in this space. Go ahead and drop those in the comments. And then, of course, hit that like, hit that subscribe, request notifications, meet me in the comments. And then stay safe, stay sane, stay smelling good. Check out the video that's here. And we'll see you next time. Be blessed. Peace.